Welcome to Rauta. This video is done in commercial collaboration with our sponsor, Steelfest. Hello and welcome to Rauta's Death Metal Reviews. This time we have a band from Germany that we have here for review. This is Purgatory, one of the names I guess which is just too much all over the place. I mean, there are plenty of bands with the very same name, so it might be hard to distinguish from this band from one another with the same name and all that stuff. Now, be it as may, this one is an interesting case because it's also a very old band, 30 years this year, and during those decades the band has quite a few releases out. Not too many, mind you, I mean, compared to lots of bands which have been very, very active throughout the years. Some of the bands roughly the same age have twice the amount of albums out. But, of course, we want bands with quality over quantity, and that's what counts. So, Purgatory out with 8 albums, and the latest album is from 2022, which I have here for review. But first, let's take a look. So, founded in 1993, and the style is death metal with the rather darker topics: hatred, revenge, darkness, horror, satanism, at least according to Metal Archives when it comes to the lyrical content. And if we take a look at the members tab, it shows that most band members are way newer. However, there are a couple of members still from 1993, so that counts, and it's pretty cool actually to have a band 30 years old and still having some original members. Now, because of this name, I'm not even sure if I have heard the previous albums. None of them really, make my thinking box rattle. That is, I'm like, might have heard it, but doesn't really remind me of anything that I have heard. I mean, none of these names really tick the boxes, and I'm like, maybe I have heard, maybe they didn't make an impact, or maybe I even haven't. But what matters is that Apotheosis of Anti-Light, the 8th album of the band, is actually a pretty good one. However, I wouldn't say it's great of an album, and now I'm gonna try to describe why, the pros and cons of the album. This one is pretty basic, as you see, 44 minutes, 9 tracks. You all know how it is, like 9 to 10 tracks with some 40 to 50 minutes, and boom, you have an album out. That's a typical metal album for you, and Purgatory is not even trying to challenge that. They don't really aim to be original or unique with their style. They are delivering death metal, kind of the modern ways, but there's some old school reminiscence here, which I guess puts this between the modern and the old school stuff. However, this is an interesting album because the first track, when it opened it up, I was listening to this and I'm like, okay, this is yet another Marduk copycat. Because the first album actually sounds more fast-tempo black metal than death metal. But soon it changes. So they kind of give you a little bit of I wouldn't say illusion, but distract you a little bit. They kind of give you an idea that, hey, this is some kind of a black metal band. Fast tempo and all. Because the vocals are screamy and it's really high tempo track. But soon it changes towards death metal, and I wouldn't say German death metal style so much as an American death metal, which I guess is a good thing, being a fan of American death metal in general. And there are parts where it kind of flirts with black metal, kind of let's do these kind of riffs and a vocal part, which is like, okay, this is something that we're kind of paying homage to black metal, or at least flirting with the ideas of a little bit darker elements, less brutality and all. Now, be it as may, I wouldn't still call this one black death metal. I would say this is definitely death metal, just with more modern twist to it. And the production is brilliant. I mean, this band sounds so heavy, and it really supports, even when there are riffs which are just kind of a filler before killer kind of a material. Those heavy kind of guitar riffs with blasting drums and deep, growly vocals. Can I really emphasize the word deep here? They do their trick. That is, it actually helps the band, do their job, even when the riffs are not that overwhelmingly good. because there are lots of that material. Like everything is like, yeah, it's kind of a good, but does it leave you a lasting impression? Not so much. Now, overall, I would say Purgatory is a good, solid B-class band. And if B-class sounds like it's gonna hurt and feel like you're offended, don't. The thing here is, not every time we can actually afford going to a Michelin star restaurant. We just have to stick with pizzas and burgers. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying Purgatory might not be the leading death metal band, not even from Germany, which is not exactly a country known for the best of death metal out there. I mean, it's not, USA or Sweden or anything like that. But be it as may, if this was like a warm-up band to say some bigger bands, Obituary or Suffocation or whatever, I would be like quite happy to see them alive. Because, in fact, they are doing their job. They're not failing, there are no weak points or all that stuff. They're more like just missing the gold standard material that is. The one that actually makes you want to buy not just an album, but also a shirt and go to more concerts. That's where Purgatory is kind of lacking. That's not a big minus mark in my opinion. It's just something that maybe they need to push things even more forward to actually nail that cross. Be it as may, check out the links provided. It's out there in the description box and maybe you will like it. At least it's worth giving a shot if you ask me, and that's what matters, right? Alright, see you soon with more reviews coming your way. Bye bye.